Personally, I'd like to thank John and Michael for asking me down here, because this is my hometown. And Westport is very close to my heart, and the next player and the work that the local committee is doing, putting this wonderful project together, is a credit to everybody in the town and everybody that supported it. I'd also like to welcome all the other clubs, the recipients of the different grants. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our first speaker. He's one of our own. I go around the country through grassroots functions and everything else, and the work this man has done with all sporting organisations is phenomenal. Our own Westport's Michael Ring.
Thank you very much, Pat. First of all, Pat, I too want to compliment you and have to say Pat is doing a tremendous job at the FAI, and all I can say, he never forgot where he came from, and I'm really pleased that he's done so well. And it's great to see him back in Westport tonight. When we were making this announcement, they wanted to sit down department officials. I said, I have the officials that can do this, and I have them here. Pat Duffy. Welcome Chief Executive John Delaney of the FAI, and tonight I want to thank John for coming down. It's not easy, it's been a busy week for them, and I just want to thank him, and I'll speak up to John later. I want to welcome John Tracy from the Sports Council. John is the Chief Executive of the Sports Council. I want to welcome him here to Westport tonight. And you know, we're very lucky to have a man of John Tracy's calibre. 30 years to this very year, John Tracy represented our country and won a silver medal in the Olympics, and I'm very proud of that. I want to welcome the manager of the Irish team, Martin O'Neill. He is somebody I've got to know in the last year. We've had a lot of conversations. Last Christmas we met at the Sports Awards in RTE, and he said, you know, we talked about football and we talked about different things, and he said, Michael, I'll come down to Mayo whenever you want me. He said, Martin, I'll hold you to that. And when this week came, and we have to be fair as well, Martin is with the Irish team for the last 2 weeks here in Dublin. He's in Scotland on Friday night, with the American game on Tuesday night, and he hasn't seen his family in the last 2 weeks. But he didn't let me down. When I asked him to come here tonight for the announcement, he came. And I can say this before you give him a good real Westport welcome. We're very lucky to have this man as manager of the Irish team. This guy has been a great footballer himself, a tremendous manager. But you know, it's not about being a manager or a footballer, it's what kind of a human being you are. And Martin O'Neill is a decent man, and I want to say the job he's doing with the Irish team. What I saw last Tuesday night, what I saw last Friday night, there's great promise for the Irish team. This guy is building a team for the future, and I'd like to give a big special welcome to Martin. I want to welcome all the representatives from all the clubs that have been invited here tonight, including the chairman of our own club, Tommy Tarmy, the Westport United team. I also want to welcome our councillors from the town, and some of our former councillors are here tonight as well, and I want to welcome them. I'm delighted to see so many people here tonight to welcome Martin and John Delaney and John Tracy to Westport. But it's great to see so many football people in the one room, and particularly, you know, people that have stuck with our own club here in Westport for many, many years. And I want to say to the team, present team, they've done us proud over the last number of years. The amount of silverware they've brought into this town, and many years ago we won the Junior Cup, we won the Connacht Cup, the Mayo League, and I have to say, you know, the management and the team are a credit to the town, and I just, through the management, I want to thank the team for the enjoyment and satisfaction they have given us over the last few years, and I'd like to give a big round of applause for our own team. I want to say to the representatives of the clubs that travel a long distances from Cork, from Clones, Galway, and I have to think of the rest of them. There's two from Cork. I just want to say to you, thank you for coming here. It's a long journey down, but you know, you won't be going home empty-handed. Tonight we're here because, as Minister for Sport, over the last number of years, every year I've taken a sport and we decided that we would give some regional funding for sports. The first year I came into office, I made $1 million available for boxing. I then made $1 million available for athletic tracks around the country. Then we did it to upgrade swimming pools. And this year it's the turn of particularly of soccer. And just before I forget it, I want to welcome all the councillors, and I'm glad Jerry Kyle tonight that I was able to allocate 25,000 to your club today. And I know that the also at yours, we were able to allocate a bit of money for a bit of equipment for the Kilmore Soccer Club down there as well. And for the people I've seen coming up here from Castlecourt, and I'm not leaving them out tonight, we allocated 3.8 million on Monday to a swimming pool in Castlecourt, so I cannot do any more for the county in this way. John Delaney and I sat down earlier in the year and I talked to John where I'd like to see this money spent, and it was coming out of the Sports Capital programme, and I asked John to send in a list to me to see what clubs were needed of funding. Last year, as you know, we had the Sports Capital programme, and the Sports Capital programme has been very successful. We gave a commitment in government that we would run 2 capital programmes in the lifetime of the government. We had a programme of 41 million, a programme of 30 million. And I'm delighted that I was able to negotiate with government again this year. We'll have a further sports capital programme next year, probably around 21 or 22 million. We didn't have the money, but at least it's a bonus because we gave a commitment for 2, but this is the 3rd one in the lifetime of the government. Sports capital programme has worked in every corner of this country, for every sport in this country. But tonight I'm here because this year is the turn of soccer and it's the turn of the FAI to get their fair share of the cake. And tonight it gives me great pleasure to be able to announce funding for Mayfield Football Club of 200,000 in Cork, Galway Football Association 200,000, Munster Football Association and Cork City is involved in that 200,000, Clonus Town FC 200,000, one of the oldest clubs in the country I'm told, Westport United must be very close to them, Kerry and District League 200,000 and 200,000 to Westport United for phase 2 of their development. To everybody involved in sport in this country and to everybody that's involved in clubs. Yesterday, John Tracy and I, we were in the Aviva Stadium presenting the awards to volunteers in this country. And I'm going to finish on this note. We're so lucky in this country. If government had to pay all the volunteers that are in sport in this country, there would be no sport. And I make this point in every speech I make, in every corner of this country. We have a lot of green fields in this country, and we have a lot of hurdlers on the ditch. And I just say to the hurdlers on the ditch, if you're not prepared to play in the green field with our volunteers, I don't want to hear them criticised. The volunteers that run all the clubs that have got this grant aid tonight, I want to say to you on behalf of the government, thank you for the work and the commitment that you put into sport in this country. And by God, do you put a lot of work into sport for the boys and the girls, and I see some of them here tonight. And I hope that you appreciate these people that go out there training you, going out there raising funding to make sure that you have facilities that you can play in. And I want to say to the volunteers tonight, on behalf of the government, thank you. And I'd like tonight, if you give volunteers in this country one big round of applause for their work. Finally, I'd say I'm delighted that phase 2 for Westport United is going to take place. And I know that all the other clubs, and I'm glad to see them here tonight, because I know this funding is very badly wanted by all these clubs, and I know some other clubs will be looking for funding from the Sports Capital programme. But to my own club, Westport United, I had the pleasure of playing with the club. I had the pleasure of assisting Ollie Hopkins one time in managing the club, and he was manager American one time, and he tried to take me off, and I couldn't repeat here tonight what I said to him when I wouldn't come off. And all I can say is, I want to say to the present team, the present management, and the chairman and the club officials, and everybody involved in this club, and everybody involved in this development, thank you for what you're doing for this town. This club deserves to have facilities. There's some tremendous facilities all over this county, and Westport United, one of the oldest clubs in the country, are entitled to get their fair share of the national cake. And I want to say to anybody that will be critical of this allocation tonight, well, I'll make no apology for it, and I hope you as a club will make no apology for the facilities that we're entitled to have, that like the same as they have in every other part of the country. Thank you for turning up tonight. Thank you for